Hey, pardon my grainy video. It's really early in a dark morning. It's the day after that, the latest high school shooting in Parkland, Florida. 17 kids dead, maybe more, who knows? It's just terrible. And I'm sitting here watching my TV, listening to all the pundits tell us about gun control and all kinds of crazy things. And one thing I do agree with that they're talking about is we no longer should be surprised by this. And that I totally agree with. But the answer to the problem is, oh, it's so simple. It's right before our eyes. I've said it before. Let me say it again. Number one, it's not gun control. Just the day before in Chicago, we had that police officer, the commander, that was killed downtown Chicago in the Loop by a four-time felon. Did that felon not know it was against the law for him to have a gun? Listen, gun control, we have to have it. I'm for gun control. And I want to do anything I can to keep the guns out of the hands of crazies. But you can't be perfect on that. So what has to happen is, number one, we can't be surprised, and we have to be ready for active shooters. If you've been through training for active shooters, it's always, attack if you can, throw something at them, run out the back door, whatever. And I understand we have to have that. But you know what the real answer is to an active shooter? It's an accurate shooter. You know what? It's a tragedy enough to have these terrible public shootings. But what makes the tragedy even greater is there's not anyone there trained, well equipped to fire back. The answer to an active shooter is an accurate shooter. And you know what? I laugh when I see these signs about it being a safe zone or gun-free zone. Well, that's fine. But again, criminals and crazies, they don't follow the rules. So you know what? If you're in a Starbucks, hey, I understand not wanting to have that look like the Wild West and everybody have a gun strapped on their side. But I tell you this, Starbucks, you need to have somebody in that place that knows how to use a gun and has one handy to take care of an active shooter if they choose that spot. And in schools, you know what? In this country, we have the Second Amendment, which I so believe in. That's why I believe the answer to the mass shootings is the Second Amendment. You know what? There are more guns and more people with guns in this country per capita than any place in the world by far. I'm proud of that. So let's use that. In schools like this high school, I promise you, there are multiple teachers or staff at that school who have guns, who target shoot, who could be trained if they're not trained already, and can be ready for events like this. These schools ought to be locked up, and it should take a gun to be fired, a bomb to be exploded, some way for them to enter the building. As soon as that happens, the program, immediately jumps into action and the appropriate teachers respond, take this threat out. That is the answer.